Good morning, boomers. The voice of the blockchain here, Satoshi's big cousin, cryptography's finest, Champagne Crypto. Thanks for tuning in. Our Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin, and the rest of the cryptos dying. I came across an article. Someone who apparently masterfully shorted the bits at 20K is saying now that the bits is dying. I wanted to show you guys that article and discuss the tweets made by that gentleman and some of the responses and rebuttals to that. Shout out to Punish GT. Shout out to the rest of the boomers who are tuning into this live broadcast. The champion of crypto, Champagne, is here with the boomers here deep in the foxholes of the blockchain battlefield trenches, kapumping with the best of them. Let me drop bombs for you guys. You guys touching the buttons, the like, the sub, this post notification bell, the ding ding. Stay tuned in to the good crypto word that we spread here daily. But to be honest, we've skipped a couple days as the price of Bitcoin has traded sideways for some time now. Let's market bleed so we can get cheap crypto, says Punish GT. That's not a bad idea. You know, if you're in it to win it and you're here to hodl crypto for the long term, then you buy the blood. That's what the boomers say. And, you know, it's not any financial advice, but that's what they're saying out there. You buy the blood. Tezos still looking really good, says Punish GT. I haven't been looking at Tezos, but I did notice that it had a couple of days of pumpage, some greenery. So, you know, shout out to the Tezo bag holders out there. Today, we'll be talking about crypto as it slows down. I think this is a good time, you know, to accumulate and see who's really in it to win it, because we don't see any newbies. We don't even see any trolls as of late. It's kind of quiet out here, and that's okay. We've separated the men from the mice, the pits from the poodles, the victims from the victors, or the victors from the victims. Crypto not dead, just a red tag discount event, says Jojo. I don't think so. I don't think it's dead at all. Although some people are saying it, and I want to share with you those articles. But what I do agree, okay, and I think I discussed this yesterday, I do agree that the possibility of the price going down a little bit more is on the boards. That definitely is a possibility. There could be more blood. We could drain more blood on these streets before we see a pumpage. And I'm just getting you guys prepared for when things do pump, that you can manage your expectation. Don't sip on the potion that I sipped on when it was 13.8, thinking that things were going to propel back to all-time highs. I think we're going to have to be a lot more patient to see these all-time highs and, you know, navigate these waters without greed. I'm waiting to fill the ETH bags. Indeed. Punish GT says 5K is on the table. You know, it's a possibility. GT, you know, like I said, yeah, I think yesterday I said 6K. But, you know, it's a possibility to dip under 6. But, you know, I would say the bottom for me right now is 6. No funeral for the bits. No. You know, I just, you know, the thumbnail is there because that's what some people are saying. And it's a question. Are Ether, Litecoin, Bitcoin, and cryptos dying? My answer to that is no. I think we're in a major consolidation period. And what we're seeing here, guys, believe it or not, is the market reflecting the true value of Bitcoin, you know, when it's not manipulated by the powers that be. Let me put on the display here. You could see the price trades right below 10,000. You know, it could be 7, it could be 8, it could be 9, but in that range. So I think that's what the fair value of Bitcoin is nowadays. Maybe that'll readjust once demand could increase because of the diminishing circulating supply, or the new coins being issued are going to be less with the halvening. But I've said this time and time again here on the stream. I think that the halvening's priced in. So don't be too surprised, guys, if we pump over 10K and then we fall short there. You know, listen, every day that passes by and that we're, you know, like under 8, 9, you know, the possibility of all-time highs gets less and less and less. Guys, you got to understand that we're, you know, right around the corner from a halvening. The halvening's going to occur in May. So, you know, basically, you know, like say 6 months and change. And that in the crypto space is a long time, but, you know, that 6 months can come very quickly. Hope ETH comes to the €100 range. Let's see. You know, one thing I've been noting here with crypto, and this is probably why the price is starting to settle down, is that it's with crypto, people that got in, they're already in. The institutions that wanted to get in are already in. Backed was released. Right now, there isn't any new movements that may propel and increase the demand, is my theory here. You know, as far as people using the coin, those that are using it are using it. But, you know, if you're sticking around waiting for some movement, you're just waiting for an event to happen. And I think that's part of the problem with crypto. It's still very speculative. Even with the bits itself, people are waiting for an event. Okay, compare it to something that's been around forever, like gold. People are not waiting for an event with gold. It's there, the price is what it is, and the volatility is a lot less than Bitcoin. I think that's where Bitcoin's headed for the long term. I don't think that Bitcoin's going to die. So those doomers out there, I don't agree with them. But some may question the health of Bitcoin when they don't see it pump as they used to. And I think that this is part of the life cycle with crypto and Bitcoin. There's going to come a point that Bitcoin is going to be less and less volatile, and it's going to behave more and more like an asset that's been around for some time. And the question is it happening already? Or are we going to see some pumps before the price finally consolidates? I think that we'll see a major consolidation sometime after the halving, and you know, one could argue that we are already seeing that consolidation. Shout out to Double X and CryptoZilla. Put the bagpipes away and hodl. Indeed. You know, listen, this is no doom and gloom. This is no FUD or anything. I'm just trying to be realistic and see, you know, where things are headed. They may go down a little bit. I think that eventually we will go back over 10K, but you know, all these major predictions of, you know, $50,000, $100,000 Bitcoin, I think we're going to have to put that aside. Okay. It's definitely still on the table, but we need to battle through 10 and 15K before we even start talking about these McAfee predictions. Okay. You know, I'm about to start sniping somebody out the box if they tell me $1 million Bitcoin or something like that, because as much as we want to be positive and are positive of the future of the bits, we got to manage expectations. We got to manage expectations out here, boomers. And what we expect here, as far as what the champ is saying, we're going to come short of all-time highs. But ultimately, we are at a higher and heavier weight than we were at the beginning of the year, which is a kapump. It's a good thing. Just got back from the gym today. I was doing my deadlifts. No PRs today or anything like that, but I put some nice weight. I was doing some good sets, and you know, same gym I've been going to for years now. And front desk guy comes at me today and he says, you know, champ, I know you're doing some weight, but you need to stop slamming the weights. And what do you mean slamming the weights? So apparently someone complained, a newbie, you know, I don't know, you know, was intimidated by the weights. I thought they were going to tell me something because I do my deadlifts without shoes. You know, I keep the socks on, but, you know, I thought someone was going to complain about that. But apparently, you know, you put too much weight on the bar and somebody gets intimidated. So, you know, I was thinking about it. And, you know, if that happens again, you know, I'll just cancel the gym membership and go where I can work out. You know, sometimes you outgrow places, and I thought about that. You know, you can't be a Formula One race car driver and show up to that race in a Civic. Okay, it doesn't matter how good of a race car driver you are. So, you know, it's something to consider. You may outgrow certain things, and you know, seasons of certain things may just turn over, and that's what it is. Yeah, I'm really bored of channels saying 16,000 around the corner. Look, yeah, you know. It's a strong possibility that we may hit 16K, but you know, these wild predictions. Listen, we got to get over 10K and sit above 10K for some time. I want to see a nice consolidation, and you know, it just hit me. Perhaps that's what's going to happen after the halving. We're going to consolidate above 10K and stay there, just like we've consolidated above $5,000. You know, even after the price corrected from an all-time high of 20,000, about 85% all the way down to 3,000, we've corrected and we've stayed above 5,000 for almost a year now. So, you know, the lower we go, the better, says Tyler. Yeah, you know, that's true. We've got to weed out some of the bad hands. Crypto is infested with way too many irrational fools. Even the crypto celebrities are all indicators that people needs to slaughter still and rage quit. You got a point. We got to shake out some of the bad hands, and I'm here to manage expectations. That's what I'm telling you guys. I'm a bull, and I've been bullish, but you know, when I got some of these characters telling me, champ, it's going to 100, it's going to 200. Guys, you got to slow down with that. And you got a point there, Tyler. Some of these crypto celebs need to slow down as well. CryptoZilla says there's SJWs at the gym. Yeah, there is. You know, and this is the same gym that I've been going to. You know, it's a normie gym. It's a commercial gym. So, you know, the fact that this is the first time that anybody's ever told me anything there, you know, it's actually surprising. And, you know, one would think that they probably would have just booted me out already. But I know most of the people there, the front desk people, everything. And the guy's like, well, just someone complained. You know, I was going to say, you know, who was it or what? You know, I said, okay, whatever. You know, and I did my last set and I kept moving. But, you know, when you're doing deadlifts and you got more than 300 pounds on the bar, there's going to be a little noise. Okay. And you can't do deadlifts without setting the weight back down on the floor. That's the reason it's called deadlift. So you have to set the weight back down and have it dead weight before you pick it back up. And that's what it is. I encourage everybody to put weight on the bar while you're waiting for the price of Bitcoin to go up, down, side to side. Make sure you're getting stronger and make sure you're progressing. And like the champ was just saying, maybe you outgrow certain gyms, certain weight, certain coins, and certain movements, and that's okay. You got to see the long term. I remember when you used to upload vids that were on your drive to the gym. Yeah, you know, I would do some of those as well. And I've been going CryptoZilla, and it's funny that, you know, this front desk and the guy, I'm not mad at the front desk guy. I've seen him before. I don't think it's his fault. He was just doing his job. He's like, listen, I know he told me the first thing is, I know you're doing weight, but someone said something. I said, listen, I know that's your job. And, you know, I was going to say who said what, because, you know, I'm there every single morning. And I know most of the regulars out there, and I doubt it was any of the regulars. So it was probably a newbie or an SJW that saw some weight on the bar and he was hating, and that's what it is. Let's let this be a lesson, or, you know, a point that I, you know, want to bring across. If you see somebody else doing what you can or can't do, just don't worry about that person. Worry about yourself, okay? That's the bottom line here. You got to worry about yourself. Clean your own room first. As much as, you know, Peterson has been exposed for being allegedly fraudulent, you know, one thing he did get across is clean your own room first before you start pointing the finger. And that's what it is. It's dumping and it's good for crypto, says Tyler D. Yeah, and that's fine. It's, you know, look, there it is, 75.40. You know, it is a major dump. Look at this. This is real-time dumpage. Look at this downward movement. So I came across this article here, is Bitcoin dying? And that's why I titled the video as such, Are Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin, and Cryptos Dying? This is an article out of U.Today. It says Bitcoin is dying according to the top trader who masterfully shorted at 20K. Okay. You could see here, in a recent tweet, former IMF economist Mark Dow riled up crypto Twitter by saying that Bitcoin, the top crypto by market cap, is dying. And you can see he is the former IMF economist. He says Bitcoin is dying in a recent tweet today. He's the luckiest Bitcoin bear. Dow rose to prominence after shorting Bitcoin at nearly $20,000 back in 2017 when cryptomania reached its peak. He stated that hordes of people that rushed into the Bitcoin didn't understand the tech and were simply driven by the price narrative. Okay. However, some Bitcoin's coiners were quick to clap back, claiming that Dow would be able to generate much greater returns if he was a Bitcoin bull. And that's true. You know, if you bought Bitcoin on the day of that tweet where he said, you know, that he was going to short or whatnot, he would have been up about 7,600%. So this is the reason that we're still in the game, because it's a nice store of value from what we see, but I don't expect these major gains anymore. I think, you know, like I said, if Bitcoin is a true store of value, then its volatility has to decrease at some point and needs to find a price that it settles at. Like I said, you know, no one's waiting for a new event when it comes to gold, and we need to get to that point with Bitcoin, and eventually it will get there. And it may not be exciting anymore. I mean, like, listen, being in gold isn't exciting. It, you know, it is what it is. Maybe the excitement and the novelty of crypto is dying, but as far as the coins, you know, losing their value, I don't think that's the case. Tyler D says they will all send themselves to the chamber because of all the antidepressants they're addicted to. Yeah, Muddy's saying, you know, I'm not going to even repeat that because I don't promote any violence. That's the truth. And I know it's a joke, and I get it, but I don't promote any violence. What I promote is just to ignore them or ridicule people. You know, it's sometimes comedy is way better. You know, instead of violence and threats, just laugh and ignore. That's the best thing you could do with some of these characters. These SJWs, they don't even deserve the violence. That's what they want, you know. They want us to get violent. They want us to be aggressive. And really, you just got to laugh, okay, and ridicule these fools. And that's the deal. Shout out to Muddy, Tyler D, Lady Plants. I see you. Punish GT. Very bearish on the bits. Yeah, 75.48. 75.45 and downwards. It's falling off a cliff. And I'll tell you, we could expect, boomers, we could expect to even maybe, perhaps, go under 7,000. I've told you guys like yesterday, 6K. And I shared that article that expected an 85% correction from the $13,800 top that we experienced this summer, which could put Bitcoin to $2,000, said that article. Now, I don't expect that to happen, but, you know, these are things that are being discussed, and I want to bring them to your awareness. Bring on the 6K, says Tyler D. Yeah, I'm not, listen, guys, I mean, if you've been following the champ, I'm always here daily when things were 3,000, you know, after the bits went from 20K to 3,000, I was still here with the daily pump, sniping at the funny bunny. So, you know, as far as, you know, capitulation or, you know, saying that crypto's dead or anything like that, that's not what the champ believes. Sup, champ, who killed Bitcoin? Yeah, Swab House. This is the 50th time, or no, more, there's more than 99 times. There's 99bitcoins.com that archives every time Bitcoin supposedly died. It's like the Bitcoin obituary. And this is another day that they're saying Bitcoin's dead and it's all over with. But we don't believe that. We don't believe that. Shout out to Swab House. Tyler D says, bring on the 6K. And for those that are accumulating, it's a good deal. And listen, I think that the institutions may be excited when they see lower prices as well. You know, they run bots, and you could argue that they are the ones that have been making profits with this shorter or more of a narrow volatility range. What up, champ? It's looking like no artificial tether pump rescue this time, like I called it. Yeah, you know, tether plays a role, Ty. You know, tether plays a role, and when they make that, it's like fake money, and people buy more Bitcoins with fake money. And again, we don't have direct evidence to say tether's fake, but it certainly seems that way. But, you know, I'm not the regulator, and I don't know. But, you know, that being said, since I don't know, I don't touch tether. Just like hundreds of obituaries, we should have an archive of all these so-called expert price predictions gone run. Put them on blast, says Tyler D. Yeah, you know, I'm sure someone could do that, you know, put them on blast or whatnot. But, you know, that's kind of SJW-ish as well. You know, I don't care. At the end of the day, you know, you got to make your own decisions and take responsibility for your own movements. And if you keep following somebody else's opinion all the time, then you should put yourself on blast. That's the truth. But I get where you're coming from. There's a lot of people, you know, calling themselves experts with these price predictions. And and I've said this before. That's why I always repeat, you know, when I give my price predictions, I always say, I'm not an expert. I'm not your crypto daddy. I'm not a financial advisor. And I rarely follow the technical analysis and the technical indicators, you know. And that's why I just give my personal opinion. So, you know, I could be wrong. And I will say that. Tether and all the derivative rigging tools have never been audited, and they probably won't there, Ty. You know, I think that the entities behind Tether are the same as Block One, and one can argue that they already paid the piper and they could be in bed with the alphabet agencies. You know, it certainly seems like it's a possibility. Like I said before, I don't have direct evidence, but something to consider. As Bitcoin continues to dip, dive, and slide, we're at 75.48 after starting the broadcast at about 78. Okay, so that's what it is. Be prepared. And, you know, after seeing these movements like -6, -10, maybe we may go down. One could expect, you know, maybe a greenery of like plus point of like, you know, positive 0.4%, positive 5%. Maybe that can happen tomorrow or the day before. And this is what the institutions, they do. They swing in and they swing out. They swing in, they swing out. And it certainly seems like that could be a strategy for some, but it's not for the champ. Holy Batman, I got to go buy. I wanted $8,000 bits yesterday. I'll be back. Yeah, there it is. Listen, when things dip, dive, and slide so drastically like this, one could consider taking a stab. You get the price dipping. So look at this candle. It's almost 90 degrees southwards. So when you see these movements downwards, one could strongly consider buying. And when you see these movements northwards, upwards as well, one should consider selling if you're in it for the short term just to make fiat. Again, I got to repeat, these are just my opinions. I'm not anybody's professional advisor out here. It's something to consider. You shouldn't take advice from anybody on YouTube. If you're doing that, I don't know what to say. Shout out to Suave House, Thai City, and the rest of the pumpers. We got 10 crypto maniacs. Our Ether, Litecoin, Bitcoin, and crypto's dying. It certainly seems like that right now. And I think this is just a consolidation that we're going to experience before maybe one last pump before the year closes out. So, maybe this thing drops to 7, maybe it drops even to 6, and then maybe it pumps back to like 8 or 9. I do expect one, over 6% pump in a day. So it could pump 10% in a day. I expect, one last over 6% pump in a 24-hour period before the end of the year. Hopefully I'm right on that one. Hopefully I'm right. You can see, is there any green out there on the field? Let's see if there's anything gaining weight. Molecular, this is a new one. Digitech, Centrality, Digibyte, which has been around for a while. It's doing good. And Tezos, we had someone in the box just mentioning Tezos. Tezos have been performing well. And this is another decentralized contract platform, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. iExec is up and then Sealed. But, the only coins here that really catch my attention out of the greenery here is Digibyte and Tezos. And that being said, I'm not holding the bags. You got Komodo's down 13%, Educare's down, Educare, Bitcoin, VeChain, Zilliqa, IOST, and Theta. Theta is one that we got into in our portfolio momentarily. We liked the promise of the video platform, but IOST, Theta, some of them have great ideas and everything, but this is just more proof. Hold the bits. If you're here, if you believe in crypto, hold the bits, and maybe get some more. Throw a bit under the pillow. Everybody should get one bit and throw it under the pillow, in my opinion. Shout out to Lady Plants, Ty Silly, Tyler D, and the rest of the boomers. I shared this article here. Is Bitcoin dying? I disagree. And you can see here, Don Alt tweeted, people talking about 3,000 right now are being more unreasonable than people talking about new highs. A run from 200 to 20K is going to take some time to digest. Basically, that's what happened. 3K was an overreaction to the downside. 14K was an overreaction to the upside. We are now finding middle ground. I agree with this one. It seems like, there's a lot of negativity on the downside and a lot of positivity on the upside. And I think what we are finding is a middle ground. And Bitcoin is struggling to find its price, and it's becoming less and less volatile, with the exception of a few days like today. But, it's still less volatile than it was at one point. And that's what it is. Hold the line, says Suave House. Yeah, hold the line. We may see things go dip, dive, and slide a little bit lower, though. But when you see these drastic drops right off the cliff, these are a sign that may want to pick up. But Lady Plants does make a point. Catching this could be a falling knife, and like you say, you may throw a buy. Let's say you saw this dipping, and then you put a buy order at 76, and it may keep falling. So if you plan on buying, I would say don't buy all at one time. DCA it. Maybe average it out through the day. We don't know where the bottom is, especially with the halving possibility being priced in already. No, listen, no one knows. No one knows where the price is going to be. But, looking at the charts, I'm going to say that we have some support here at the $6,000 range. I would say, there's going to be some support here at the 6,000. Let me go back to this chart. It's not clear. I'll tell you that much. It's not clear. You see some, we see some support here, and it looks like we're falling, and it could go to, it could even go to 5. It could go to 5, or it looks like things were sideways here around the $5,000 range. So looking at the chart, it may even dip lower. Having hype is the new back type. Yeah, I agree, Tyler. I agree. I think that it's going to fall short of expectations. Ever since back launched, the price has been falling. Absolutely. And that happened when CME launched the futures in December. And that's why I've told you guys, and I'm sure you agree, Queens, the rest of the boomers as well. We don't need the suits in the game. We don't need backed. We don't need CME. I've been telling you guys, we don't need these things. And once they are implemented and they go online, shortly thereafter, the price goes down. Everybody gets an erection when they hear the suits are in the game, and they get all excited and they say, champ, it's going to pump because backed. And the opposite happens. So yeah, champ, I've been putting my Bitcoin into Tether, and this fall from 14K is making me gain more Bitcoin. Now I'm going to buy back in when people say there's a big move coming, Tether up, and you won't lose anything. Yeah, there you go. Swap House is backed is manipulation. Yeah, it seems like the derivatives is a tool to manipulate the price. Usually the price should follow the actual asset, but it looks like the price is following the derivative in this backwards world. And, it's been used as a tool to tame gold and silver as well. Shout out to Queens, Tyler D, Swab House, and the rest of the boomers. Yeah, I almost got kicked out the gym today. They told me to settle down. Apparently I was deadlifting too heavy or making too much. Don't slam the weights is what they said. Don't slam the weights. So I don't know. I certainly wasn't slamming the weights. But you got to put them back down to a dead position before you do your next repetition, because that's what a deadlift is. If not, you're doing like Romanian lifts. That's not what I'm doing. But anyhow, shout out to Queens Racist. He just dropped me $2 here in the population. Let me drop a bomb for you. Bills out this guys. Follow Queens Racist, his lead here. Drop a couple ducats here in the bucket if you're getting some value from the stream, boomers. I'm here every single day with the exception of this week, and this sideways trading has been a little boring. So, I took a couple days off, enjoying it with the fam. I always encourage you guys to, if you don't have a fam, start one. Okay. Start one. It'll lead you in the path to be a better boomer. Okay. It makes you stronger. Don't think they won't freeze Tether trading on exchanges with all this BS going on. I don't know. I mean, it's a possibility, but I'm starting to think that Tether's in bed. I think that Tether, they already paid the piper. They're part of the alphabet, if you ask me. Maybe I'm wrong. But Ty is super concerned with Tether. I think you're a little bit too concerned with Tether, Ty. I mean, listen, I agree with you, and I think there is manipulation there or whatnot, but I mean, do you have bad dreams about Tether? Do you have Tether nightmares? It certainly seems like it. Ty mentions Tether a lot, and I don't support it at all. I don't use that coin. If you talk about a stable coin, DAI seems like the most sound one to me. But Ty is concerned. Don't have any Tether nightmares out there, Ty. 75.67 and dropping, it seems. Here's a 1 day on Coinbase. So check out this article. I have it linked down below. And before we tune out, let's check out the technicals for Bitcoin. This is via TradingView. The technicals for Bitcoin, these are the ones I don't normally follow, but this is a good place to start if you're interested in technical analysis. You can see the summaries saying sell. The oscillators are reading buy, and moving averages say strong sell. If you want to know exactly which technical indicators are saying what, they're listed here. tradingview.com/symbols/BTCUSD/technicals. And you can click on every single technical and learn more. And it's all right here for you. But these techs, and this is based on a 1 day projection, they're all reading sell with the exception of a few oscillators like relative strength index, like momentum, and Williams percent range. But let's go ahead and check out the 1 month. The 1 month prediction is reading, all of them are reading buy. So, the summary here says buy, oscillators say buy, moving averages say buy. And which leads me to believe that the sentiment still for 1 month out is still bullish. But I bet you the 1 week isn't. Let me see the 1 week. Yeah, the 1 week is still sell. So expect some attacks on the left flank for at least another week or two as we go into December. It's funny, a lot of these articles and some of these technical analysts and these so-called crypto experts that were saying, November is going to be that month and this, that, and the third. And, you know what I said, guys. We're going to close under 10,000 by the end of the year. I'm saying about 94. We may be lucky and go to like 10.2, 10.3, but I doubt it. It's probably going to be like 94, 92. And at this range, we may even go to 89. I don't know. I don't trust Tether also. I don't leave my Bitcoin in there for long. I'll buy back in and throw my Bitcoin back to my ledger. And when people talking bullish, I'll drop into Tether and repeat. There you go. Yeah. You just got to know what you're getting into. It could be compromised, but some people use it to swing in and out, and it is what it is. Just I think you're following a good protocol, not in it for long, and throw the Bitcoin back into your ledger. Tyler D saying he's guessing 7K end of the year, but I'm not Miss Cleo. There you go, Tyler. I mean, that's still a possibility. I think we're going to close a little higher. I think it's going to be, closer to 9,000 is what I'm saying. But I don't entirely disagree with you. I don't think that you're being unreasonable at all. Muddy says DC all the time. Masses just don't get what Bitcoin is yet, so they don't see the value. The layman probably doesn't, but the institutions are already here, and the smart guys that were going to get into Bitcoin, they already got into Bitcoin. Shout out to Joe Sell out from Chile. I see you. But I agree, Muddy. DCA is the best way to go if you're here for the mid to long term. I'll take a few more comments and questions. 17 crypto maniacs watching. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy my day after I almost got kicked out of the gym for apparently deadlifting too loud. It's the same gym I've gone to for years now. No one's ever mentioned anything. I thought they were going to tell me something about not wearing shoes, but it looks like some SJW or some gym noob complained about the champ. I was putting too much weight on the bar. Somebody got intimidated apparently, and they told me, champ, I know you're putting weight up, but you may want to not make so much noise. And I don't understand. It's funny. Sometimes, like I said earlier, I realized that I may have outgrown the place. I may have outgrown the commercial newbie gym. I may have to go to somewhere else, which kind of sucks though, because, that newbie gym has some good prices, but you get what you pay for. That's the truth. You get what you pay for. Like I said earlier, you could be the best race car driver, but you can't pull up to a Formula One race in a Civic. It doesn't matter how good of a driver you are. So you may have to, upgrade your vessel. I'm long now on ETH at 158, says Marlon. Shout out to Marlon. Crypto is dead. Sell everything. Yeah, that's what they're saying, Marlon. This happens every, few. There's another obituary for Bitcoin. We don't believe it. We certainly can expect Bitcoin to bleed out a little bit, maybe even dips under 7, but is crypto dead? Is Ether dead? Is Litecoin dead? Out of the three, I think Litecoin has the greatest possibility of straight flatlining, but not even. Marlon's bullish on ETH. He's hoping for a 10x. Swab says they were jealous of the load. Apparently that's what some other people said, because I have people there, I go early. So, if you go to the gym early on a weekday, there's dedicated gym rats that are there. And I see the same characters. And they know my routine. They know what I'm doing. I see what other people are doing. And I've been there for years. And then all of a sudden today, the front desk guy, I don't think it's the front desk guy's fault. He just came humbly. He said, yo, I know you're doing weight, but someone complained about dropping or slamming the weights, which is funny too. On the mirror, there's a big sign that says absolutely no dropping, slamming weights. So, what am I supposed to do? I got over 300 pounds on the bar, and you're supposed to do deadlifts. So whatever. GAQ says we will tame Bitcoin. That's what Giancarlo said was done via the futures. He said that's the untold story, and we covered it. Hear anything about miners selling off, says Thai City. No, I haven't personally heard of that, but I do expect to hear that once the price goes down. But some of these miners, they're willing to take a loss and be here for the long term just to continue to mine the bits. We have a miner here in the population that said that he's not going to turn off. I forgot who it was, but they responded last time. But, I could expect some of the miners to turn off, but I don't know. These are fools selling at these prices. Yeah, I mean, or are they institutions that are going to buy back in when it goes under 7,000? You don't know. It could be, these swingers, these swing traders. Now I'm waiting for the articles about the $100 million tethered print. Yeah, hey, things dip, dive, and slide, and maybe next month or next week, we may get an article. New tether being printed, and then they pump the price again. It seems like tether is like the Fed for crypto. The Fed pumps money, prints money, and pumps the stock market. It looks like like tether prints fake coins and pumps Bitcoin. Apparently, we don't have any proof, but it certainly seems like that could be a possibility. 14 crypto maniacs, 35 minutes on the stream. I'll take like 2 or 3 more questions, or I'll wait a minute or so for any comments, and I'll go ahead and tune this down. Land the plane here on the tarmac, skip the runway. You know the deal. Shout out to my crypto aviators, my crypto license driver, my crypto maniac savages, my day one boomers, and anyone that wants to enter the blockchain battlefield bootcamp. Would be a good time to get one step ahead of others. If the price does pump next year. Because it's not going to pump this year, guys. We're not going to see over $10,000 this year. I highly doubt it. We're going to have to wait till 2020. And some people may be disappointed when they don't go to all-time highs. But I'm here to manage those expectations. Maurice says, time to scoop up some ETH. I think ETH is here to stay, too. I think it's here to stay. And, Marlon's trying, I don't know if he's got it, but he's encouraged everybody to get those 32 ETH. And, looking at the ETH against Bitcoin chart, it was looking better than I expected. I'm going to bring it back up. ETH against Bitcoin. It definitely doesn't look bad. Check out the 1 month. Let's check out look at the 1 month looks good. And even the 3 months has a channel that looks like it's going upwards. Marlon says he's sitting on 132 right now. Well, congrats, Marlon. You'll be good then. You'll be good if you're going to be staking that. Shout out to you. Congrats. Hopefully your ETH bag is not bigger than your Bitcoin bag, though, Marlon. And you don't have to, tell us what you're holding or not. That's enough for 4 nodes. Yeah, congrats. That's good. Definitely a baby whale at least, right? I would say, maybe not a minnow any longer. You're definitely a little dolphin out there on the ETH networks. A dolphin on the ETH networks. I wouldn't call you a whale. I'm sure there's people holding thousands of ETH. Those are probably the whales. You can't move a market with 132 ETH, but you're definitely not a minnow. I would consider myself a minnow in the ETH game. On that note, guys, I'm going to go ahead and enjoy my day and encourage you guys to do so. Check out the articles I have linked down below. I don't think that these cryptos are dying. I do think that they're consolidating, and we may see some lower prices as we approach December. Don't expect any pumps till 2020, and manage your expectations because we may not go to all-time highs, although I think we're going up. Hey, champ, are we dying? Absolutely not there, Lucian. It's just a little blood. And, the crypto's caught a little flu, a little cold. It's under the weather. Peace to Ty, peace to Marlon, peace to Lucian, peace to Lady Plants, Maurice, and all the boomers out there. I'll be back tomorrow, if not sooner than later. It's the voice of the blockchain here, Satoshi's biggest cousin, cryptography's finest, Champagne Crypto. Thank you for